there's there's a lot of, I'm going to say, trust that's been broken with leaders and workers in organizations. And trust is such a critical component to kind of like getting people to be disciplined and motivated towards those visions and goals. And so could you share some tips on how small business owners can build and maintain this trust in their small business?
Yeah, and I think, gosh, we saw this even in the pandemic, right? Like so many leaders, everything's completely changed overnight, and they're like, "You just got to trust me. The
Mm-hmm.
world is in chaos, but you just got to trust me." And their teams are like, I got nothing. Like I got
Mm,
no trust for you. You've done nothing to give me trust, like to build
right.
trust with me. And I always go back to this John Gottman quote. He is like he's a psychologist who is a relationship expert. He's kind of written about trust over the span of about 50 years. And he says every interaction that we have is an opportunity to either build trust or decay trust. And
Mm,
in his work, he says there's nothing that we can do to build large amounts of trust with one another. So I kind of think about trust like a
interesting.
bank account. There's
Yeah.
nothing that we can do to make huge deposits. Like the deposits are $1 at a time. But
Mm,
as leaders, there are things that we can do that can, sweep everything out of the account. Like we can go from $1 million to zero overnight with one,
right.
terrible leadership move.
Hmm.
And then the work of rebuilding that is long and hard and it requires a ton of intentionality, right? So I love Brene Brown and her work on trust as well, because she, in her work or her book Dare to Lead, wrote, trust is maintaining healthy boundaries. Trust is being reliable. Trust is holding ourselves accountable, is keeping confidences or having a vault, that I'm not sharing things that are not mine to share, that I have integrity, which means I choose courage over comfort. I choose to do what's right over what's fun, fast, or easy. I'm not
Hmm.
judgmental and I'm generous with my interpretation of the words, actions, deeds of other people. So we have to really work on taking this idea of trust from being this like very gauzy feeling to
Yeah.
here are the behaviors behind how we make those those deposits into the trust accounts that we have with other people.
Okay. Wow. All right, well, folks, do you agree with Zach on this one? There's a lot of chats about kind of like the values and keeping it to maybe four, trying to tie some behaviors to that. You kind of touched on kind of just building trust is like, and I like what you said, where it's like you're limiting on how much can be deposited, but maybe you have unlimited on how much you can take out, right? So it's kind of like you can clearly drain it that way. So to me, as an accountant, this kind of like visualizes
I
it. Yeah.
tried to do the accountant thing there a little bit. I usually use a marble jar, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with the bank account for the accountant.
Yeah. No, I love it. So yeah, let us know, folks, if you agree. Send us an email or leave a comment.